Uh, Today's live I'm doing about preparation. I just wanted to have a chat with you guys on preparation strategy, how to start your preparation for CAT 23, specifically in quants. So I'm just trying to give you a brief perspective of that, given the kind of paper we have had this year in 2022, and given the kind of paper we've had in 2022, given the kind of trends we've had in the last few years. And see, broadly, one thing you need to understand is when you try to create a strategy for preparation, you first focus for an exam like CAT. Strategy comes out of the objective, है ना? And when you talk about strategy coming out of objective, how much you want to score in quants is something you'll have to kind of define for yourself कि quants में मेरा target कितना है, और quants का target flow करेगा तुम्हारे overall target से. So तुम्हारा overall target अगर है कि मेरे को 100 marks score करना है CAT में, 80 marks score करना है CAT में, तो you might think that okay, quants में I want to score 35, 40, 45, whatever. You define that number, and accordingly you will then know कि okay, I need to solve. Suppose you want to get 45 to 50 in quants as a target in CAT 23. So you might ask yourself कि okay, 45 to 50 करना अगर है मेरे को, तो I should be able to solve around 17 to 18 questions overall out of 22, which basically means that you have to have knowledge of 21 questions, which means that if you're looking at a score of 45 to 50, there's no scope of कि मेरे को कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं आता है, वो वाला स्कोप कम है. बिकॉज देखो, एक एंगल होता है एग्जाम में कि जितना तुमको आता है उतना तुम सॉल्व नहीं कर पाओगे. देयर इज अ थंब रूल दैट यू विल ओनली बी एबल टू सॉल्व around 80% of what you know. So if you know 20 questions, you'll be able to solve 80 to 90% of what you know. So you'll be able to solve 16 to 18 questions. If you know only 15 questions, तो तुम 10 से 12 सॉल्व कर पाओगे. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि 15 क्वेश्चन आते हैं और 15 क्वेश्चन सब सॉल्व हो गए, बिकॉज एग्जाम के अंदर स्लिप होता है, प्रेशर आता है, एंड यू हैव टू plan for these things during the course of your preparation, right? So if you know 15 questions out of 22 on average in your mock tests and in your previous CAT papers, so you can expect you'll be able to solve 10 to 12 questions out of 22 in the exam, and then you'll be getting a score of 30s, not 45, 50. So तुम्हारा नॉलेज लेवल डिफाइन होगा सबसे पहले तुम्हारे ऑब्जेक्टिव से. सो तुम्हारा ऑब्जेक्टिव अगर 45 प्लस है क्वांट्स में, तो तुम्हारा नॉलेज लेवल होना चाहिए कि 22 क्वेश्चन में से मेरे को 20 तो आना चाहिए. सो वन आउट क्वेश्चन हेयर और देयर, वन आउट चैप्टर हेयर और देयर आई कैन बी स्लाइटली वीक एट, बट अदरवाइज आई नीड टू नो any question from any chapter and anywhere. But if your target is 35 marks, 35 marks, then you don't need to have that level of precision and that level of knowledge for solving the questions. So अगर तुम 35 marks target कर रहे हो कि तुम्हारा 100 marks लाना है, और तुम्हारा इंग्लिश अच्छा है और इंग्लिश में 40-45 आ जाएगा, और DILR में 25-30 लाऊंगा, तो क्वांट्स का 30-35 का टारगेट हो जाता है. So if the quants target is 30-35, then you need to get 12 questions correct, 12-13 questions correct, for which your knowledge level needs to be around 15 to 17 questions. So which means that out of 22 questions, it's possible to get 35 marks without knowing 5 to 7 of the questions on average. So that strategy then starts flowing from this objective. कि अगर तुम्हारा ऑब्जेक्टिव है कि तुमको 20-21 क्वेश्चन आने हैं 22 में से, तो then you really cannot do any of the chapters poorly. Every chapter has to be done to depth. It has to be done to LOD2s, maybe LOD3s also, because आजकल difficult questions बढ़ते जा रहे हैं एग्जाम में. So you don't want to take a risk with any of the chapters. So तुम्हारा strategy फिर focus हो जाता है, या तुम्हारा जो objective हो जाता है वो shift कर जाता है into every chapter. All the 20 chapters of quants have to be done well. And have to be done to the level where I can solve any question. Right? Now, solving any question versus first skill होता है being able to solve every question. अगर तुमको 45-50 लाना है 40 मिनट के सेक्शन में, तो तुमको 70-80 मिनट में 60 लाने का एबिलिटी बिल्ड करना पड़ेगा पहले. बिकॉज अगर तुम 70-80 मिनट में एग्जाम में मान लो सिर्फ 50-60 स्कोर कर सकते हो, तो ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है कि तुम 40-45 स्कोर कर लोगे. यू विल बी एबल टू स्कोर 40-45 in uh, in 40 minutes, right? So you have to first focus on trying to bring your 80-minute score up to around, I mean, if you want 45 marks in CAT, in quants, your 80-minute score has to be 60 plus and that's what I was talking about. Your knowledge has to be 20 plus questions in the exam, right? And because, and I tell my students कि तुम लोग जब देख रहे हो कोई भी चैप्टर को पढ़ रहे हो तो both live format and recorded format मिला के we give around 300 questions, 200 to 300 questions on every chapter on assisted problem solving format, at least the main chapters. So, but I tell my students कि तुमको कितना assisted देखना है वो तुम decide करो. You might not want to do all the 300 questions in assisted form. अगर तुमको 25-30 क्वेश्चन के बाद तुमको कॉन्फिडेंस है सॉल्व करने का तो बाय ऑल मीन्स रिड्यूस द अमाउंट ऑफ वर्क यू डू. ये कोई प्लेजर एक्सरसाइज तो नहीं है ना कि मैथ सॉल्व कर रहे हैं तो बहुत मज़ा आ रहा है. आना तो चाहिए मज़ा, but you'd rather watch a movie in the extra time that you have than watch more questions, right? So that's about it. So bottom line is that. And one last thing about strategy is बहुत बार जब तुम सेल्फ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग में जाओगे तो you will not be able to solve all the questions you pick up. So it's very important for you to continue to keep those questions aside and come back to those questions the second time. बहुत बार second time, third time जब questions में आते हो तो you will realize that you will be able to solve the same question जो तुमसे पहले solve नहीं हो रहा था. So what I'm trying to suggest is, if you're going for CAT 23 and we are on the 1st of January, you've got a full 11 months left. What I'm trying to suggest is कि पहला 4 महीने में, पहले 4 months में पूरा पोर्शन कंप्लीट करो एक बार. 4 months is good enough. 18 weeks हो जाएगा 4 months में करीब करीब. And in those 18 weeks, one chapter per week अगर तुम एवरेज करते हो तो फर्स्ट राउंड तुम्हारा कंप्लीट हो जाएगा सबका. And then May, June में you try to do a second round of all the chapters. The second round will not take you if first round took you 1 week per chapter, second round will take you 3 days per chapter, and third round will take you 1 day, 1.5 days per chapter. So you plan your first round in January to April, second round in May, June, and third round in July. So you finish 3 rounds. So 3 rounds में you will be able to see जो भी chapter उठाओगे उसमें अगर फर्स्ट राउंड में तुम्हारा 40% प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग हुआ, 60% सॉल्व नहीं कर पा रहे हो तो सेकेंड राउंड में दैट 40 विल बिकम 70 एंड थर्ड राउंड में 70 विल बिकम 90 बाय इटसेल्फ. बाद में जो लास्ट 10% क्वेश्चन है उसको देन यू टेक हेल्प फ्रॉम अदर्स टू सॉल्व. So that's about it. So that's the strategy point.